Saturday at noon in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, NC State against Kentucky at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Noon Eastern on ESPN. These teams met once back in the 70s. Kentucky won 27-2. It's a pretty trying season for Kentucky. Just a lot of really emotional things happening, losing a coach, medical diagnosis, just a lot of emotional things they've had to deal with in a COVID year. There was talk that they weren't going to accept the bowl, but they did. They will play NC State. They're seeking their third straight bowl victory. And the records in here, don't be fooled by the records. Kentucky's 4-6. They're 2.5-point favorites at BetMGM, over under 50.5. NC State's 8-3. Well, Kentucky, 4 of their 6 losses came against teams in the top 8 of the final college football playoff rankings. NC State, who last made a bowl in 2018, actually here at the Gator Bowl, they got drilled by Texas A&M. Who have they really beat? And, I mean, Liberty is their best win. They should have lost. They're 4-0 in one-possession games. I think their average winning margin is like plus 1 point. So they've won a lot of close games. They beat up on the bottom of the barrel in the ACC. I'm not a fan of this team. Now, what you should be a fan of with NC State is their defensive line. They play a unique 3-3-5 defense. They're going to blitz from all over. Ali McNeil is a monster at nose tackle. He's going to play on Sundays. He just eats blocks. He's an athletic freak, too. And then he frees up Peyton Wilson at linebacker, who just makes a million tackles, led the ACC in tackles. I think they were 5th in the nation in tackles for loss, 9th in sacks per game. So it's a really good pass rush. It's a really good pass rush. I mean, the defense overall is not great, but Kentucky has a really good offensive line, and they can handle this front. And they're not really going to. Kentucky's not really going to be passing. Now, it's worth noting that there's a new coordinator. Big dog Vince Marrow is taking over play calling for Kentucky, who fired their offensive coordinator. But what this Kentucky team was, they have no passing game, none. Maybe they try to throw it, but I doubt they do. So like the NC State pass rush is kind of neutralized here. It's not going to matter. You can beat this NC State team with ground and pound, which is what Kentucky can do. In the 3 games NC State lost, it gave up an average of 276 rushing yards per game. Kentucky also has familiarity with seeing this defense. Mississippi State, 3-3-5, similar stack. They faced it this year. Tennessee Martin, I forget, someone they faced last year, an FCS team, played a similar defense. So they have experience seeing it. They'll have extra time to prepare here. I think that they can have success on the ground. And Kentucky's defense, kind of a bend, don't break defense. They really kind of bow up in the red zone. They don't give up any explosive plays. And that's really how NC State makes their living. So it might look funny to see Kentucky 2.5-point favorites here. I know my voicemail caller, the Dave Doran fan, isn't going to like this, but I'm kind of leaning towards the Cats here. What say you?
Yeah, I like the Cats. I mean, I power rated, minus 2.5. So I think there's not much value here on Kentucky, but I really like the under for a lot of things that you said that favor Kentucky, and that is limiting explosiveness. And that's the reason that we have backed Kentucky in certain spots of the season, is because of their defense. Offensively, they're extremely slow. Seconds per play, 118th in the nation. They can control the trench. They're top 20 in rushing success rate on offense. So, and they run the ball 63% of the time. So this is a team that can assert their will on the ground on the offensive side at a very slow pace. And then defensively, they're top 25 in tackling. They're 19th against rush explosiveness. They're 8th against pass explosiveness. They're going to be able to shut down anything the Wolfpack wants to do down the field. Now, Kentucky doesn't take the ball away from you, so I'm not expecting them to come up with a bunch of turnovers in their own territory, creating quick scoring opportunities like we've seen out of some of these other bowls. But I think it's really important to note also that Kentucky has faced the 8th strongest strength of schedule this season, and NC State 68. So I think it's even though we put these numbers up against each other and the numbers say that Kentucky's defense is going to shut down NC State, consider the numbers that Kentucky put together were against SEC play. So I like Kentucky in this game. I think the 50 should be closer to around 47. I like the under. We'll see how much more it floats. But yeah, definitely here going with SEC over NC State. And NC State's kind of been smoke and mirrors all season.